Thank you for joining us. My name is Hillary. I'm from the Museum of Early Trades and Crafts in Madison, New Jersey. You may have already listened to our wintertime stories. If not, be sure to check them out. Maybe curled up on a cold winter's day with some nice hot chocolate. And afterward, you may want to check out our winter-themed crafts like the one I'm going to show you here. So I'm going to show you how to make paper snowflakes. Now, there are many, many ways to make snowflakes out of paper. I'm just going to show you a few ideas to get you started. The real fun in this is experimenting and having fun figuring out all the different ways that you can do this. So don't see this as a limitation to what you can do, but a starting point for you to do many of your own snowflakes. All you need for this is paper and scissors. You may want to have some scrap paper to start with as you kind of play around and then move into nicer paper, but any paper you have is fine. Just basic old white paper, if you have it, is what you're going to want to have. So just to show you a few examples of how this can look, but again, there's many ways you can end up with a snowflake. I can have some square ones with some nice big open holes. I can do rectangular snowflakes. I can have some much, much smaller holes, one giant hole, things like that. Lots of different ways that you can do this. So see how many different patterns you can make. You can make them smaller, you can make them bigger, all sorts of things. But there's a basic concept behind all of it. So you want to start with a piece of paper. We're going to do a rectangle first, and then we'll do a square in a minute. So all you're going to do is just fold your rectangle up. So just take it, fold it in half. You probably want to do this on your work table surface, but I'm going to do this in the air for you. Fold it in half again. The more neat your folds are, the more likely that you're going to have a nice, even, symmetrical snowflake. But it doesn't have to be perfect. You can have an asymmetrical snowflake too if you want. So keep on folding. Again, I would recommend maybe doing this in your on the table to give you a hard surface to fold it, but keep on folding all the way down. You could even go one more time if you wanted to and really, really get a nice tight snowflake, whatever you want to do. And then you're going to take your scissors and start cutting. This is where the experimentation and fun starts, because you can do anything you want and you never know exactly how it's going to turn out until you try it. So I'm going to cut just a little triangle here. It's a nice, this is a big fold of paper, so it's a little thicker to cut, but okay, I've got my triangle there. Then I'm going to come over here and cut sort of a rounded section, a little bit like that. Let's see. Maybe I'll do another triangle over here, but a tiny one. Just a real tiny little triangle. A little harder to cut when it's this thick, but it'll have a lot more patterns. And then finally, after I get all my little bits of paper, last but not least, I'm just going to do a bigger one over here. Let's see where this gets us. Because now what we do after we finish our cutting is we open it up. Open the folds all the way back to your original full size of paper. There we go. That's what that did for me, doing it like that. All those fun little patterns. So that's one type of thing you could do. Again, try all different cuts, big cuts, small cuts, more cuts, fewer cuts, more folds, fewer folds. So many different ways that you can do this. And if you want to do a square snowflake, what you're going to do is take your piece of paper and you want to fold this corner down until it meets the other side over here. And then, again, you probably want to do this on your flat surface. Just going to crease it out. So if you see, I have a triangle with this extra piece left over. We're just going to cut off that extra piece with our scissors right along where it folds so that we're left now with a giant triangle. And now we're going to fold that triangle again. So put those two ends together, fold it across. So we have a nice folded triangle. I'm going to do this one a little more open, but I could keep going again, right? Do another triangle, but I'm going to try this one like this. And see what happens if I do a circle over here, a real big one over like this. Nice big bite out of my triangle. And then I'm just going to actually cut the point of this right off. Looks pretty funky. Wonder, let me do one more thing. I'm going to do a triangle cut on this side. And now I'm going to open it up and see what I have. Ooh, okay, it's a nice big circle there. It's a real open one, kind of almost looks like a face or a mask there. So see how many different types of shapes and things that you can make. So I could even take my little tiny piece here that I cut off. I'm going to actually cut it in half. Now I'm going to fold that. Let's see if I can make a mini snowflake. And now I can do some cuts. Pull out the paper. I'm going to trim some of my corners. See how I'm just snipping my corner right off? All 4 corners, I'm just going to snip them off. See what that gets me. Looks like this. Open it up. Up, starts to look a little bit like a butterfly. Hey, look at that. Just a real simple little thing here as my snowflake. So you start to get the idea, right? You fold and cut, fold and cut. That's all there is to it. Try different folds, different cuts. See how many different types of snowflakes you can make. Because you know, no 2 snowflakes are the same. So thank you for joining us to learn how to make some very simple but very fun snowflakes out of paper and just using your scissors. Enjoy the story time, and we'll see you for the next craft time.